Video, we are working from taking an image off of a phone using image capture. So this is specifically to the Macintosh and the latest operating system. If we look at image capture is already open, and under devices you can see I have my iPhone hooked up to that device, and I have some greenery here. I also have a little bit of a fence, and I'm going to be able to just pull that over to the desktop, and it should be able to make a copy of that. There it is right there, and I can then shut down image capture. I'm going to then take this into Illustrator, and I'm going to start with a brand new document. And once I have my brand new document up, I'm going to place my image into Illustrator. So I go to File, I go down to Place. The easiest way to remember how to get your other images or your other photos into Illustrator or even InDesign is to think about InDesign or Illustrator. In this case, Illustrator is having a party and it's inviting the image over to its place. The image that I'm using is this top one, and I'm going to place that, and it's going to come in. It's going to be rather large. In order to resize it so it fits, I'm holding Shift down on the keyboard, just so that we can have everything on the composing panel and that makes more sense to you as the viewer. Once I get this done, we are going to go through some image trace demos. I have my photograph centered on my composing panel. I'm going to go and work with image trace. If we go up under Object, we can go down here and find image trace. This is going to do a generic make and expand image trace and not give you a whole lot of control. So we'll run through it so that you can see it. It's telling us it's going to trace slowly because it is a photograph with quite a bit of information, and it's going to go through the whole process. And once it's done with this, we'll have some vector-based lines instead of the photo image anymore. And so this has turned itself into a completely black and white photo. I'm going to undo what we've just done and go through one where we have more control over the detail. And if I go to Window, down to Image Trace, I'm going to be able to open up a panel that has a lot more information. And so there's some information here that lets me know this is doing black and white. I can also do it grayscale or color. I'm going to recommend that people explore this at their own in their own time frames. For what we're doing with foil, we really want it to just be black and white. Under Advanced, it's going to allow you to control the path, the amount of corners, and the amount of noise that's being communicated. And so you can actually mouse over it and it will tell you what these controls do. And those are, once again, things that you're going to want to adjust. Right now down here in the options it says snap curves to lines, and I can ignore white, which means if I have a predominantly black and white image or an image that's more image versus just a plain ground, the background can completely be ignored or gone away. I'm going to work with this a little bit more. Maybe here I'll work with the tolerance, and I'm going to have this in preview so that we can see what what more or less threshold does. That takes where your information divides between black and white and determines which direction the information goes. So I'll move it down so there's less, and you'll be able to see the detail and how that changes once it moves through this. So we've got less threshold is letting us have more of that white information, and if we go to more, it would have more. And now that I've done this, I don't have all those same little handles or pixels that you had seen when I did just the generic image trace. So I have to go to Object now and go to Expand. You notice that I have the tracing selected, so it's highlighted, and I'm going to hit Expand. It's going to give me some options to do this, expand it and have the object outlined and filled. This is the default, and right now that's what I've been using, and I recommend that you start at that place. The next thing that we might want to do is ungroup this. You can also keep it just exactly as you found it. I like to ungroup it so that I can start to move things around. And sometimes you have to ungroup it many times to finally get an object to be an individual component that can be pulled away. So this object here is by itself, and then I'm leaving the vehicle and the other information over here. At this point, we're going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to come back and talk about some other things that have to do with the pen tool, the points and the vector points, and how we can adjust them.